The Infinite Life Sutra, Chapter 4, Part 1, The Causal Ground of Dharmakara. In past, inconceivable, countless eons ago, there was a Buddha who appeared in the world named Lokisarvarja. Buddha Lokisarvarja appeared in this world when people were very conservative and law-abiding to the extreme, following the letter of the law and not the spirit. The name Lokisarvarja means to be comfortable and at ease while still following the rules, which is what this Buddha was trying to convey. Every Buddha, including Buddha Lokisarvarja, has the same 10 titles to represent their infinite wisdom and virtue and capabilities. First, thus come one, is one who truly and thoroughly comprehends that the intrinsic nature and the extrinsic form are one inseparable entity. Second, worthy of offerings, indicates that the Buddha deserves the offerings from all beings for his perfection in knowledge and cultivation of virtue. Sowing in the field of merit by making offerings to the Buddha enable one to harvest good fortune in the future. One of the most important reasons why Buddhists make offerings to Buddha Shakyamuni is to repay our gratitude for his being our original teacher, reminding us to respect teachers and their teachings and not to blindly worship them. Another important reason is to acknowledge and emulate the virtuous, vowing to become a Buddha also. Third, likeness of perfect enlightenment is the abbreviated form of supreme unbiased perfect enlightenment. Fourth, perfection in wisdom and cultivation means one's understanding and practice reach full completion. Fifth, skillful in non-attachment. All Buddhas are neither bound by birth and death or a state of nirvana. Sixth, knower of the worlds, comprehends everything in the universe. Seventh, the unsurpassed scholar. Eighth, great hero is what the Buddha is by guiding all beings in their individual practices and solving their problems through his teachings, achieving what others cannot. Ninth, teacher of heavenly beings and men. Buddha, the world-honored one, is the person who has already attained perfect, complete realization and the above 9 virtues, thus deserving the respect of the world even though he is unaffected by his achievements, viewing himself as equal to all beings. This concludes the 10 titles for all Buddhas. Buddha Lokisarvarja gave the teachings for 42 eons. This indicates that the lifespan of a human being at that time was even longer. At that time, a great king by the name of World Abundant heard the Buddha's teaching. After King World Abundant received the teaching from Buddha Lokisarvarja, he decided to give up his kingship to become a monk. He was renamed Dharmakara, meaning Dharma treasure. Giving up the kingship is an example of pursuing self-realization and dedicating oneself to educating others about the Buddha's teaching. Thus one serves all the sentient beings in the infinite universe and beyond. To create good fortune for all, one contributes one's wisdom and capabilities. Ordinary people only think of themselves, their family, or perhaps even their country, whereas a realized person strives to help all beings break through delusion to find true liberation. Dharmakara started practicing the Bodhisattva way, which helped him to attain an awakened mind. A Bodhisattva can be any person in any place. They are no different from us except they do not harbor any discrimination and attachments, and are unaffected by worries and troubles in their daily lives and work. For example, the clergy can also be bodhisattvas, guiding beings from delusion, improper thoughts and viewpoints, and polluted thinking. Dharmakara was an extraordinarily talented person, who in many ways already surpassed most people. In his past lives, Dharmakara must have practiced extensively the giving of wealth, fearlessness, and teaching in order to be born into a royal family and to have wealth, longevity, intelligence, and wisdom. By practicing diligently the Buddha's teaching, Dharmakara reached the utmost achievement. As the power of mindfulness and wisdom enhanced Dharmakara's determination to achieve in the practice with no regression, he began to formulate his great vows. No one could surpass him. He went to visit the Buddha, showed his respect by prostrating, Prostration is one form of practice. When prostrating, one should do so with a sincere and pure mind, having no wandering thoughts. Thus one cultivates concentration in addition to conditioning a healthy body. He placed his palms together in reverence towards the Buddha and praised him with these verses and made the great vows. The thus come one has a subtle, wonderful, and majestic appearance which no one in the universe can equal. This is one reason why people like to get close to them. The Buddha's light shines without limit throughout the 10 directions, covering up all the brightness from the sun and moon. This verse praises the Buddha's light and wisdom, representing purity, equality, wisdom, and compassion. The world-honored one can present with a sound and make all living beings understand in their own languages. When the Buddha gives a teaching, people from different regions in the world could understand it. Moreover, all heavenly beings, bodhisattvas and arhats from other worlds and realms who attend will also comprehend. The Buddha can manifest in a subtle and wonderful appearance, and let all living beings see him as their own kind. The appearance of the Buddha or Bodhisattva are images projected from the minds of different beings. The above verses praise the Buddha's virtuous capabilities. I, Dharmakara, wish to attain the Buddha's pure and clear sound, and let the Dharma voice universally reach limitless boundaries. I wish to penetrate the profound, subtle, and wonderful Buddha's teaching. May my wisdom be as vast and deep as the sea, and my mind pure and void of impurities and afflictions. Although one may not be verbally chanting the Buddha's name at all times, it is important to be mindful of the Buddha's unceasingly, or else wandering thoughts may arise. Wandering thoughts are what pulls us back into the endless cycle of reincarnation. In other words, if a Pure Land practitioner is not truly practicing for the Pure Land, she is practicing for the 6 realms of reincarnation. Pure mind and true wisdom prevent one from falling into the 3 bad realms. Moreover, they lift one up to reach the perfection of the mind. The poisons of greed, anger, ignorance will forever disappear with the strength of samadhi. I will end all delusions and faults. 3 good roots for ordinary people to develop are ridding themselves of the 3 poisons, greed, anger, and ignorance. Bodhisattvas have already eradicated these 3. What they concentrate on is cultivating diligence. Strength developed from contemplation of Buddha Amitabha Samadhi may dissolve all past transgressions and uncover our wisdom by ending greed, anger, ignorance, and delusion. This enables our inner brightness to shine through. We achieve this by sincere mindfulness of Buddha Amitabha and cultivate without doubt, intermingling with other thoughts and methods or cessation. In the Surangama Sutra, Great Strength Bodhisattva taught us to use the Buddha name-chanting method to constantly maintain a pure mind void of thoughts. This will eventually uncover our true mind, leading us to the state of samadhi. Like the past incalculable Buddhas, may I become a great teacher to all living beings in the 9 realms. Dharmakara wished that one day he would be a teacher to the beings in the whole universe like other countless Buddhas in the past, present, and future, and liberate everyone in every world from the myriad miseries of birth, old age, sickness, and death. A great teacher helps to liberate all beings in the 6 realms from the suffering of birth, aging, sickness, and death. He also helps those enlightened beings who have transcended reincarnation but have not yet become a Buddha to transcend their remaining ignorance. I will constantly practice the 6 paramitas of giving, precept observation, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom. Bodhisattvas themselves not only practice the 6 paramitas, but also encourage others to practice as well. The first of the 6 principles is giving. There are 3 kinds of giving. Number 1, giving of wealth, which will result in wealth in return. Number 2, giving of knowledge, either worldly or spiritual, which will result in intelligence or insight. Number 3, giving of fearlessness, which will result in longevity and good health. All the infinite afflictions can be summed into 6 basic afflictions: greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, doubt, and erroneous viewpoints. These 6 can all be categorized under greed. Anger arises when one cannot satisfy the greed within. Once the greed is satisfied, the anger naturally subsides. The practice of giving neutralizes greed, the worst of the three poisons of the mind. To rid ourselves of greed, we first reflect deeply to see what we crave the most. Starting from there, we proceed to let go of reputation, wealth, the 5 desires, and the temptations of the 6 senses.